You know what, dudes? It's real funny because I've noticed around a third of guys, when you unplug them from society's comforting lies, they they go back to them. Could be more, could be half, you know, but it seems like it's at least about a third of dudes like to go back to the comfort. They like to go back to what is familiar, if you will. They've seen the code in the matrix, as they would say. They've unplugged. They see the world for what it is, reality of relationships, money, self-care, dating, all that stuff. And they're like, nope, not going to have it. I like the shit that I believed before. I want to continue to sleepwalk through life. It happens to a lot of guys. In my book, which, is sort of the basis of this podcast series, if you guys haven't got the book, definitely get it. There's a second edition that'll be out later on this year. And I've got the second book, which will be out shortly after the second edition, with some more stuff, just kind of diving deeper into the rabbit hole on this. And I just think it's a good idea to have all these ideas and stuff in more than just video format. Paper's always a little more durable than YouTube. Who knows what happens, with this content in the future. I'm sure it's not going to be around forever. So that's why I'm doing it that way. But yeah, I've done well over 1,000, maybe 1,500 calls with guys privately. Every show I take at least, I don't know, somewhere between half dozen to a dozen call-ins every show. There's 81 episodes in this show. I've done them on the Before the Train Wreck as well. We took call-ins when I was working with Sean. I've talked to a lot of people, and I've noticed a lot of dudes let's go back to what's comforting. Don't want to do what is real. Don't want to do what works. Don't want to do what I know women respond to. Don't want to do what the facts demonstrate. I want to go back to my comforting lies. I got an article that I'm going to kind of zip through in this kind of opening segment on cognitive bias, because I think that's a big part of it. But yeah, it's a reality. Guys will literally say, thank you. This has saved my life. I had the muzzle of a 45. I was about to chew on it the other day, and without the group of guys in the community, in a group, whatever, I don't know where I'd be. And then they'll just say, oh, but you're a bunch of misogynists, or I don't like what you're talking about today. It's weird. It's very, very common, and I don't think we, as guys that have unplugged and continue to do the work and take ownership, and be accountable and hold others that want to be accountable as well, should really care, to be honest with you. There's always going to be crabs in a bucket, as they say. You throw a bunch of crabs in a bucket. Apparently the way that they operate is when one starts to climb out, the ones in the bottom will grab them and pull them back down. So this is purportedly how it works with crustaceans and buckets. Works the same way with dudes. I see it over and over again, and you can beat yourself up and get sad over it. Like, I've seen comments from guys in my discussion forum. I have a private discussion forum. I know I don't mention it enough. People always tell me, why don't you talk about this more? Put the ticker down at the bottom. So I got a community. But I've seen guys in the community, and they'll be all, this, that, and the other thing makes sense. And know that, we'll just use chicks as an example, because that seems to be like the driving force for a lot of guys still is. This chick will be a total train wreck. She'll be toxic. She'll be narcissistic. She'll be manipulative. She'll be the kind of person that can ruin you personally and financially by going back to them, and they'll go back to them anyway. They know what they're like. It's like a building is marked and it says, this is the slaughterhouse. And they just march back into it, knowing exactly what they're marching into. And their friends are, standing there on the way while the guys are walking into the slaughterhouse being like, yo, dude, are you sure you want to do this? This is really not the best idea. And dude just keeps marching in. Let's march into that slaughterhouse. And all you can do is just step aside. It's like, look, if that's the kind of person you're going to be, if that's the way that you want to run your life, and you want to invite chaos into it, you want to complicate it unnecessarily, cool, have fun. But there's probably going to be some distance made between you and those people. I don't have time for bullshit in my life, and I don't encourage anybody to tolerate bullshit. I mean, look, man, when you're younger, yeah, you're going to put up with some more bullshit. You're a younger kid, you're in your 20s, you're still kind of figuring things out, right? You're going to put up with people that do stuff like that. It is what it is, right? How do I stop my friends from doing this? And another one that pops up a lot that I've seen, even in my discussion forum too, is how do you save men that don't want to be saved? And I'll tell you what the answer to that is you don't. You don't. They don't want to be saved. Don't save them. Fuck it. Who cares? Let them go. Let them march into that slaughterhouse. Let them do what they're going to do. Let them invite chaos into their lives. Let them return to the train wreck that's going to ruin them emotionally, financially, intellectually, all those ways. Let them do what it is they're going to do. Roll up your sleeves, as I am doing now, and get on with the business of what you get on with doing. And let them go. Because this is how we should handle things, I believe. You should put yourself first. You should make yourself your own mental point of origin. You should allocate your fucks to the things that are truly fuckworthy, right? Talk about that in one of the chapters of my book, Managing Your Energy. Talk about other things in my book, like managing your endocrine system, but specifically you need to manage your energy and only dispense it on things, on matters, on people that it's truly worthy of your time. I mean, one of the things that I'll get, from time to time, if you watch enough of my podcast or enough of my videos, you'll hear me talk about this notion of assholes, and that's ASK, by the way, not ASS. It's ASK hole, right? Asshole. And all that means is you're asking the same thing over and over again, but doing nothing with the information that you're provided, and you're reverting right back to what it is that you're doing. That's an asshole, right? So if you have people in your life right now that are doing things that, they're asking questions, they're asking for advice, they want help with something, you provide a solution, you provide the advice that would be useful, and then they do nothing with it, and a few weeks later or a day later or a month later or whatever it happens to be, they come back and they ask you the same shit again. Just look at them and say, you're being an asshole. What's that? Explain it to them. This is what you're doing. I don't deal with people like that. I already told you what to do. Go do it. Fuck off. Right? You're going to get a lot of people like that. Your boy is 40, like old dogs, new tricks. Very, very true. I can retrain a 20-year-old man before I can retrain a 40 or 50-year-old man. Right? I can tell him the exact same thing. And I do. But the older guy, because they have decades more of societal programming, decades more of all those marketing messages and bullshit and TV shows and sitcoms and men ain't shit, men are useless, all that stuff coming at them. Women are great. They're beautiful at any size, use my pronouns, whatever, all that stuff. Because I've heard decades and decades of that stuff, to try to show them something completely different and adopt it and use it, I believe is less likely than a 20-year-old who's only, maybe been hearing these messages for, 15 years or so. What is that age when we start to become like, where you start to develop memories? For me, probably 4, something like that. So, you have 15, 17 years to untrain programming that's not useful. You can do that a lot quicker than somebody that's adopted that for 30, 35 years, 40 years, 50 years. I've seen those guys go back a lot. Not just the older guys, but younger guys too. And I see them go back all the time. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? All right. Why are you getting mad, at the facts? I've said it before. I'll say it again. I quoted it several times in different parts of my book. If you have a problem with the facts, your problem isn't with the facts. It's with you. I'm going to spell it out. I'm just going to say it. That's it. When you know something to be true, 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4. If you're going to tell me all day long that 2 + 2 is 5, I don't give a shit. Believe whatever you want. I'm fucking done. I know what the facts are. You've seen what the facts are. Argue whatever you want in whatever direction you want. Go think 2 + 2 is 5. Have fun. Enjoy. Argue. You know what? Go on Twitter, because that's where everybody likes to go argue. Go on Twitter and argue with those dipshits. See if that's a good use of your time. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here. And pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.